Hey, good day, everybody. This is Dennis Woven, the Active Trend Trader. Welcome to today's session of On the Radar live market updates. We got good stuff to be taking a look at here shortly, and so we're just going to jump right into it. If you are joining us from on Instagram, I'll be checking to double and see if you are out there, and basically just to follow along and see if you do have a stock you want me to take a look at. Please just basically go in and lay that the clicker symbol down in the comment section and go from there. Wow, came up quickly today. So again, if you're joining us, so as you can see, I've got a hoodie sweatshirt on today. And I've got my Texas sweatshirt and my Texas Longhorn hat because I am an alumni from the University of Texas, graduated back a long time ago. And anyway, with a degree in aerospace engineering. So just giving me a real big shout out to my other Texas Longhorn friends out there. So hook 'em, baby. I think our football team this year is going to do absolutely phenomenal. Secondly, I'd also want to give a shout out to Yellow Duck. You may be, if you're not an Instagram streamer, you probably don't know who the heck Yellow Duck is, but it is a interface application that allows me to stream live from my computer via Instagram. And so it really, really, is a big assist in getting the message out. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's review session. I'm looking at the spiders. The spiders are, of course, a stand-in for the S&P. It is the non-leveraged ETF for the S&P. As you can see, the spiders over the last 3 days, running into Monday. Really nice gap up. Now that came on the heels of the administration having some supposed great news about projected aspects of the economy and also unemployment or employment report. And it looks like things were starting to tick on all cylinders. However, look what's happened over the last 2 days. Spinning top. As momentum continue to climb higher. So yes, we have reached all-time highs. At the same time, I have a bearish signal here from yesterday, Tuesday's signal, which hasn't quite been taken out. And one way to basically look at your, when you get a bearish or a bullish trigger, is one way to look at that is if the low or the high, in this case this is bearish, if the high of that is taken out, even intraday, it voids that pattern. So that means it doesn't count anymore. Now, does it have weight for the potential future aspect of the entity? Yeah, sure it does. But at the same time, this is looking really good to the upside. It is well extended away from the moving average. At some point, we will get a reversion to the mean. Which mean do we normally revert back to? If it's a very strong uptrend, and this is your tip for the day, if it's a strong uptrend, you're going to revert back to the 8-day moving average. If it's a, okay uptrend, you're going to revert back to the 20-day moving average. That's what we tend to revert back to. If it is a, less, a little bit weaker uptrend, it may get back to the 34 or the 50-day moving average, and it'll probably be up here by the time that happens. And that's the way you can interpret the strength of your individual uptrends, which is a good piece of information to know. So and then you can also take a look back and say, well, what moving averages has it respected on the recent pullbacks? Well, as you can see here, back in early March, price action blew all the way through the 50 and then popped back up from there and then continued on. Then it came back respected the 50, got a bounce off of there. So what would I be expecting here? I would expect probably a pullback into the about probably maybe the 20 or the 50. And another thing I can do here is I can throw on a Fibonacci, and I want to use the Fibonacci excuse me, extensions. If you're not familiar with doing this, you can always run over to my YouTube channel, Market Tech Talk. And I've done two really good, not good, actually excellent videos on Fibonacci's. One for the time series and one for the price series. A lot of people don't even realize that there are a time series of Fibonacci's that also connects, that can help you project out when things might turn around, not just where with regard to. So basically, this is an extension. Now, if we maintain a symmetry of move from this low to high and off of this next important low, that gives us an upward target on the spiders of the S&P up, or the spiders up at the 410 level, $410 from where it's at right now. So that's what is that? $3.40 away. It wouldn't take much at all for it to blow on through and hit that level. And then I would say at that point, let's look for another potential reversal signal to take this to the downside. As we're aware, with the sector rotation that's been going on out of the growth stocks and into other sectors that, like the construction sector, some of the transportation sectors, and basically the defensive sectors we've been running in, price action have been value sectors is what they're called. Price action has been running over to them. And so that's why the SPY is basically tearing it up, moving up to the upside. With that in consideration, what does that mean to us with respect to things like the NASDAQ? Well, as you can see, the NASDAQ actually had a nice move today, but very, very similar. We had a bearish Harami yesterday. PSI has just about reached the upper reversal zone. Doesn't mean it can't go higher. I mean, because basically it can. So what are we looking for? I have a quasi reversal signal here with the well, it's not a quasi, it's a legitimate candlestick reversal on the daily chart from yesterday's bearish Harami. Today's high was not taken out. If yesterday's high was not taken out with today's price action, if in fact it is taken out, that voids that Harami. Now, some people may look at that and say, hey, Dennis, look at that. We have a candlestick that engulfs yesterday's body. And they go, it's a bullish engulfing. No, it is not a bullish engulfing. It is a bullish engulfing happens at the bottom of a downtrend. That's why it's a bullish reversal signal. Right now, we're not reversing anything. Now, is it a bullish candlestick? Yes, it is. I mean, anytime you start low and then it closes up in the middle, above the middle half of the candlestick range of the day, yes, that's bullish. But it is not and it is an engulfing pattern, but it is not a classic technical bullish engulfing pattern. One of the things, if you're using the candlesticks, take it, get one of, I really like Steve Bigelow's candlestick books. He does a really great job. I've taken a couple of courses from him and also got a certificate as a candlestick technician from what I learned from Steve. And, he only focuses on like a handful of candlestick patterns. And again, it simplifies the process, get it down to a very manageable aspect. And so that's what we got for the Qs. What about IWM? Mixed market. IWM sold off today. Nice sell-off. I mean, that's a very much we're getting out of Dodge. We're taking our, we're going to take our ball and go home. We're not going to play the game anymore. And as you see, funds, money is rolling out of the small caps and into the value type stocks. what do I want to do here? This is kind of interesting. Let's take a look, real quick look over at the weekly. We're halfway through the week. See what the weekly candlestick looks like. And as you see on the weekly candlestick, again, it is pushing down. If it takes out the I would say the 219 to 218 level, and as you can see, TSI turned over, momentum turned over on the IWM back here. When was this? This was the week of 125. That's the last week in January. Price actions continue to work higher as the momentum continued to roll out of this entity. This is a classic formation where we could get some acceleration down to the downside with a downside target. I'm going to target the downside target somewhere between 210 and 209. Really good, really nice. I mean, so how do I want to trade this and play this? Well, after the shooting star yesterday and a sell-off today, I'll be watching this to move back up towards the 820 right in here. Let's see. I'm going to be looking for this to move back up into the 820 right there. And if price actions move up to that level and then reverse down from there, that would be an excellent place to go ahead and jump on a trade. Price actions may work all the way back up towards the downward trending line now. That will also be a secondary level of resistance where we could get short. What does the intraday chart look like? I've got a 30-minute chart up here. As you can see, on the 30-minute chart, though, it does appear as if we're ready for a bounce. And where did it bounce last time? It bounced up, not quite back up to the 220 level or 222 level. So if it bounces again, keep an eye on these moving averages, the 222.47 level. I'm going to stay on a see where this. About right there. Go back over to the daily. Where does that line? How about that? I'll be darned. It came out right in the middle of that candlestick. Pretty amazing, huh? So again, that is a nice level of resistance where price actions may hold up right there. Right now, we've got the after hours painting slightly up, but the market just closed. So I will want to finish up today with a couple of insights that I'm watching that may provide you with some opportunities. MARA, very interesting. This is one of the Bitcoin / cryptocurrency stocks. This is an excellent reversal. We had a breakout fake out. PSI has crossed back to the downside. Volume hasn't really picked up that much though. And so I want to be careful with this one because I'm looking for a couple of things. Yeah, there was enough value to be able to get into a downside trade. And so one of the things that I was looking at yesterday was go ahead and toward the end of the day, go ahead and enter a bear put spread, a debit spread, if you will, for the puts to the downside. And I was just doing a little bit of experimenting on taking the signal before the end of the day, and sure enough, it worked out really good. What I did was I bought the $50 and sold the $47.50 out on April 26 for about $1.15. And then what that did for us is basically we then closed that position, half that position out today, and picked up about 45% gain on that one position. Okay, I want to say, hey, aloha and welcome. Elsie, I see you there. And I also want to see, one of it's either my daughter-in-law and or it is my son over in South Korea who've just joined us. Welcome, guys. Papa D says, hello. Give the grandkids a big kiss for me. Appreciate that. And so what I'm looking for is just a continued pullback. How do I want to size this? Again, I can go back into the I can go back into the Fibonacci extensions. I go here, I grab that. Now, Fibonacci extension, it's not that I am sitting there going, oh, has to be where it goes. No, because that oftentimes is not what happens. But it gives us an idea, a projection. And so if this fall that it's currently under, after this gap down today, if this fall continues and it reaches 100% symmetry with this last move here, from here to here, it will basically wind up right there. What is that? That's a 100% retracement. Oftentimes things happen with symmetry. It's just, and part of it is, it's not so much people are watching the charts, although they do, but a lot of it is also it's the habit that people have gotten into with the way they do their trading. And so if you're aware of that, you can plan accordingly. So what is that level right there? That is at the $41.42. The other thing I want to take a look at with this is because I think crypto is, I don't think it's done yet. But the other thing we can take a look at is, well, where does that correspond to with just a straight Fibonacci retracement? At the lows, split up to the highs, and bingo, bingo, look at that. $43 is a 50% retracement. 618 retracement is down here at $40.59. So somewhere in that zone, we could get a move down. Now, the reason I was looking at taking this trade, and I'm gonna wrap it up from here, is I was interested in taking that trade because from here down to the moving averages, well, that was a 21% move. If it gets all the way down to this level here, that's a 30% move. If you're trading options or even trading the stock itself, that is a heck of a move for this to move in just a day or so. With the its move today, how far did it drop today? It dropped almost 11%. Now, there's another reason why we want to be paying attention to the cryptos. Last one I'll just take a look at. We've got earnings coming up on JP Morgan on the 14th, and that's an after market. No, it's before the market closes. And it looks as if we basically, this was one that we put out last week, over the weekend, JP Morgan, to trade it pre-earnings. We wanted to get in down here about the 153.50 level. We did, in fact, jump into the trade there and getting some exercise here. Price action has started to move up. And as you can see, I have now broken above this downtrend line. So what I'll be watching tomorrow is if price action continues to push up higher, it should happen very quickly. Thursday, Friday this week should be upside targets for JP Morgan. If you traded one of the options with us on that one, guys, we want to basically be looking at tightening up our stops on that because we definitely don't want that to turn into a losing trade. But with earnings, running into earnings, we'll have both implied volatility expanding, and so that will help with our profitability. And if price action continued to run up, that will also help with that position being a winning position for us, as we've had a bunch of winning positions here lately where we've been getting 7, 8, 9, 10, 15% in a 3, 4, 5 day period. That's trading the entity, that's trading the stock and or the ETF. And then, of course, doing much better with the options. So if you want to, hey, do me a favor. If you're watching us on, hey guys, if you are watching us on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. You'll be reminded, notified when we put out new content. If you're watching on Instagram TV, leave a comment there or some thumbs up. And one of the things on Instagram, if you will basically hit the save button, that helps us with the algorithm with Instagram. But I just appreciate the help, and I'm glad to be able to come on into your life 3 times a week. And again, we're live again tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific time, 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. And then on Friday, of course, don't remember Friday, I do the how to make money trading stocks and options at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. And you can join us live for that on YouTube and or DM me, and we'll get you hooked up as a free member of Active Trend Trading. That way you will get notified email of everything we're doing. So until later, thanks for joining us today. Aloha and God bless.